Right now at 5, the Shoal Creek Conservation Center hosted a native plant sale.
And we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area this morning. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Tolkien fans come together at Empire Market to celebrate the world of Lord of the Rings.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, September the 23rd. We are officially into our second day of fall,
Yes.
and it is going to feel very fall-like out there.
I know. I'm excited for a nice little cool down, refreshing. Got some rain.
Yeah, we got some much needed rain out there. I mean, we still need a lot more. It's going to take some time to start to recover from some of the drought conditions across the area, but at least we are getting some kind of rain out there. We started the day with some thunderstorms, and that's what we have right now. We're going to take a quick look first outside, though, with our camera downtown Pittsburgh, and you can see the roads are wet, but the rain has just about come to an end in Pittsburgh right now. And as we take a look at our camera at 7th and Range Line, you can see those low clouds out there. The roads are wet, but again, rain starting to wrap up for now. That's wet roads from the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line in Joplin. Let's take a look at that Skywatch Storm Tracker, though. So we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. And if we take a quick look down to the southwest, not a lot out there right now, but we'll start to see more showers and storms developing. So we got some showers just to the north of Independence and Mound Valley, just outside Fredonia, in between Fredonia and Erie out there into southeastern Kansas. Some heavier rain exiting the Chanute area, coming up on Savenberg and Bronson. And then we've got some showers also around the Fort Scott area. And then we've got some thunderstorm activity, some heavier rain at least, stretching back from Lamar, Greenfield, Mount Vernon out there. So some showers, thunderstorms. And there was initially some frequent lightning with these storms. So you want to make sure you're playing it safe if you are outside. So here's a look at all that. You can watch how quickly it flared up across parts of northeastern Oklahoma and then started rolling off to the north and east. And again, we'll have more of these storms as we go through the morning. We'll have scattered showers and storms through today. We'll get a little bit of a pause. We are expecting maybe the possibility of a few additional isolated to widely scattered showers and storms as we head later into the evening, and then those will start to come to an end a little closer to midnight. 63 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh, and around the region we've got that northerly breeze. The cold front is through, and it is cool. We got 59 in Iola, where that cold front hasn't quite made a full impact yet down the south. Upper 60s, otherwise low to mid 60s. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Of course, a few scattered storms out there. 63 north breeze at 5 to 10. When that bus brings them home, again, a few more scattered storms. 66 by that time. That's only a 3-degree rise. By the way, we'll probably hit highs relatively early today, upper 60s, and we'll just be kind of hanging out in the 60s with those scattered storm chances. Again, gradually coming to a close toward the end of the day. Well, have another look at your forecast. We're going to talk about some additional rain chances out there and just how cool it's going to be here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right. Thanks, Chris. We'll see you soon. Well, patrons at the Best Western in Joplin had to vacate their rooms after a fire was reported. A call's coming into Joplin 911 around 7:15 Saturday night. Now, witness reports say that smoke was coming from the top of an exterior open-air stairwell. Joplin Fire worked on an exterior column, pulling away stucco and decorative wood on the second floor of that stairwell. Deputy Chief Andy Nimmo says the smoke and fire got into the south side of the roof near the stairwell, but was put out quickly. Joplin Fire Marshal determined the fire started in an exterior wall, and the fire most likely happened due to discarded smoking materials. No occupants of firefighter injuries were reported. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, the Shoal Creek Conservation Education Center hosted multiple events Saturday, one of which is a plant sale. 2 vendors provided over 50 different species and varieties of native Missouri plants. Now, each plant was also marked with some guidelines of how to take care of them as well. The goal of this sale is to provide native habitat for different pollinators and wildlife. Also fluttering its way to Shoal Creek Saturday was the Monarch Fest. The event is held in conjunction with the migration of monarch butterflies to Mexico. Kids could make monarch butterfly head crowns, do a scavenger hunt, and even do the monarch butterfly migration game where they pretend to be butterflies and see if they make it to Mexico or not, and more. Well, guests at Empire Market Saturday had the opportunity to go on an adventure. Empire Market celebrated Hobbit Day a day early with some Lord of the Rings themed activities. A Hobbit scavenger hunt, a Hobbit house photo booth, and visits from themed characters are among the themed events. Vendors had special items for sale, and guests were also encouraged to dress up in their best fantasy clothes.
I like that the vendors can get involved and we can have potato soup and we can have, second breakfast, and there's all sorts of things that hobbits are known for. And it's a good way for everybody, the community, the vendors, the market to play along and get involved. And it just adds more dimension.
The event was also in correlation with J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday. The Lamar Municipal Airport was cleared for landing Saturday morning with area pilots dropping in for a fun community event. KOAM's Mitch Adams has the story.
I think it's always important to have things to pull our community together. It's a small town. We know each other. It's good to get together and just have fun.
Lamar Municipal Airport in Lamar, Missouri is home to over 20-plus personal use and business aircraft. A celebration was held to commemorate the 63rd anniversary of the airport.
We do expect, the weather has delayed our start this morning, but we do expect a lot of aircraft to arrive from the surrounding areas.
Pilots flew in from as far as Little Rock to display their aircraft and participate in the event. This event, put on by the Lamar Airport Committee, has been in the works for quite some time now.
They have been working over a year to draw this all together to produce this big event.
One of the main draws at the fly-in was a Black Hawk helicopter. The Army helicopter flew about 45 minutes from Whiteman Air Force Base and landed in front of a crowd of spectators. Mayor Rick Olchin told us that another main purpose of the event is to emphasize the importance of the airport to the public.
He is being underutilized. We do have businesses operating out of this airport that we didn't have before, and there's a potential here for that to grow even farther.
The city of Lamar is optimistic about bringing new attention to the formerly underutilized airport, with high hopes that the community's interest will continue to take flight. In Barton County, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Now, planes were not the only machines on display in Lamar this past weekend. A car show with local hot rods took place alongside the fly-in. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, we hear from a former Girard Trojan who scored his first career touchdown at Pitt State. Love those details. Plus, the annual 2-week Oktoberfest kicked off in Munich, Germany, with folk singing and German food and much more. And we're tracking rain chances for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, Pitt State football is now 3-1 on the season. On Saturday, the Gorillas survived the road test by beating Washburn 39-31. Perhaps one of the biggest moments of the game was former Girard Trojan Luke Nigaman, who scored a touchdown to give Pitt State an 8-point lead with just over 2 minutes left in the quarter. The Pitt State tight end rushed for 7 yards on 3 carries, including scoring his first career touchdown for the Gorillas.
Yeah, for sure. Just a little QB power, man. I can't take any credit. Oh, big guys up front. We got 4 tight ends on that play, so those guys do everything for me. It's awesome. I grew up watching the Gorillas, so being able to get in the end zone, be able to be a part of this team is awesome. Can't complain.
Well, there's only 1 week left of the Major League Baseball regular season. St. Louis Cardinals were eliminated from postseason contention on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Royals are just trying to hold on for dear life. So we're going to start in St. Louis. 6th inning, Cardinals down 1-0. Nolan Arenado pops one up. Should be a routine fly out until there's miscommunication in the outfield, and that ball drops for a hit. Arenado runs back to first, and he's safe. Mason Wynn scores to tie the game. It's now 1-1. Starting pitcher for St. Louis is Andre Palante. He gets Jose Ramirez to strike out in the 7th inning. He went 7 innings with 4 punch-outs. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Both runners attempting to steal, and it's a wild pitch that bounces in the backstop. It rolls far enough to allow Lars Nootbaar to score. 2 runs is all the Cardinals would need. St. Louis beats Cleveland 2-1. The Kansas City Chiefs are 2-0 to start the season for the 7th time in the Andy Reid era. The Chiefs hit the road for another primetime game on Sunday Night Football. Kansas City facing the Atlanta Falcons last night. Mahomes has thrown for 2 touchdowns, and Rashee Rice has 110 receiving yards and a touchdown. Kansas City Chiefs defeat the Atlanta Falcons with a final score of 22-17. Over to Kansas City, Royals got to have this one. 2nd inning with no score. Grant McCray drives one deep into the gap, bounces off the wall. That's going to score a run all the way from first base. It's an RBI triple for McCray. San Francisco leads 1-0. Later in the inning, Brett Wisely hits a single to left field. It falls right in front of Tommy Pham. RBI single gives the Giants a 2-0 lead. Royals bats face a tough test. Kansas City facing Blake Snell, who's the reigning Cy Young winner. He gets Hunter Renfroe to swing and miss here. Next batter, Yuli Gurriel. Can't make contact. Then Snell strikes out the side. Only 3 hits for the Royals on Sunday. Giants win it 2-0. Elsewhere in the AFC West, the winless Panthers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Opening drive for Carolina. Andy Dalton goes to Chuba Hubbard. He makes the catch and gets across the end zone. Panthers lead 7-0 in the second quarter. Tied game 7-7. Andy Dalton connects with Deontay Johnson. Carolina leads 14-7. Just before halftime, same score. Andy Dalton takes a shot here over the middle to Adam Thielen. He makes the catch, but he's hurt on the play. It's still a touchdown. Shocker of the day, Carolina beats the Raiders 36-22 for their first win of the season. And here's a look at the rest of the AFC West. The LA Chargers lose to Pittsburgh 20-10. Pittsburgh is 3-0 to start the season. Denver picks up their first win of the year. Broncos defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26-7. Well, still to come, a new study suggests people who travel more often may age a bit slower. And we got another check of that forecast and those rain chances when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:17 coming up on 5:18 on this Monday morning. It has been a bit of a stormy Monday morning in the 4 states. We got showers and thunderstorms stretching into southwestern Missouri. Starting to see a bit of an uptick in the lightning out there. And we're seeing some lightning with these showers and storms across southeast Kansas, and that's where we are going to start. So Chanute, just to your south, you've got some rain, so if 169, now it's going to roll into Erie, or at least just clip the northern portions of Erie. We've got these showers and storms southeast of Iola, and then stretching along the 54 corridor to 59. Fort Scott getting some rain out there, and a few scattered showers up in our northern counties, just to the northwest of Burlington, around Garnett and Mound City. On the Missouri side, some heavier rain rolling through. So again, there's that heavier shower in Fort Scott, stretching along 54 to Nevada. Lamar, you're kind of sandwiched between a couple of heavier points of rain. Greenfield, Stockton, you're going to be getting in on it. Just exiting Mount Vernon as this all continues to lift off to the north and to the east. These storms developed pretty quickly this morning. Nothing strong, nothing severe, which is good. We don't need that, but we do need the rain. And while it looks like things are kind of calming down, they're not. Take a look at this activity. Not much flaring up, but some of it's starting to get its act together. And then off to our south and west, we're expecting, like these little guys here, more showers and storms to begin to fill in out across Oklahoma. Oklahoma, and those will continue to roll into our area from southwest to northeast. So we're going to be dealing with scattered storms for the majority of the day. Now, as we start heading later into the afternoon and evening, we're looking at a bit of a lull in activity, but we could see a redevelopment briefly of a few isolated, widely scattered showers and storms. This all starting to wrap up by about midnight. Tuesday, we're going to start the day partly to mostly cloudy across the area, and then the future track is showing at least the possibility of some isolated showers, maybe even a thunderstorm out there. So again, remember, this green is not rain all over this place, but it is where rain could be as we head through our Tuesday out there. And again, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms by late Tuesday evening, and that activity clears out. And by Wednesday, our skies are going to be partly cloudy, but otherwise not a bad day shaping up for us with those temperatures hanging out in the 70s. We'll talk about the 70-degree weather in just a moment. Right now in Joplin, 63. It's cloudy. We have stopped with the rain for now, but the road's still wet from that earlier heavier rain that we got out there. Temperatures, that cold front's pushed through a little further to the south and east. It hasn't made a complete impact. It's not fully, impacting, but already upper 60s, and then back behind it, 59 in Iola, and then low to mid 60s across the majority of the area. So we'll have scattered storms again through the morning, and you can see temperatures are just going to be hovering right around the mid 60s out there. And we're probably going to hit our highs relatively early, and then they're just going to fall back into the mid 60s. So we're looking about 69 out there. And again, scattered storms as we head through the afternoon and into the evening hours. Now again, by the evening, they're going to become a bit more isolated, maybe a few showers. By midnight, that wraps up. It'll be mostly cloudy overnight and pretty cool. Temperatures falling back into the mid 50s for most of us out there, and it's going to stay relatively fall-like for quite some time. Take a look. 70s, 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 70s. You get the idea. 70s all the way through the next 10 days out there. So again, maybe a few scattered showers and storms, otherwise mostly cloudy Tuesday, partly cloudy Wednesday. Then we've got additional rain chances, maybe a few isolated showers and storms as we head toward the end of the week and into the first half of the weekend. But my favorite thing is those temperatures. Take a look at that. Let it soak in for a second. That's one of my other favorite things is, coming in on a Monday, updating the weather graphics. All the data from Friday is still in there. We were looking at highs upper 90s is what I had plugged in by Friday. Now we're talking upper 60s out there, so pretty decent. That's a check of your forecast. We will be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. Well, a new study shows making arts and crafts can be good for your mental health. The study was recently published in Frontiers in Public Health. Now, it found engaging in creative activities can significantly boost well-being by providing meaningful spaces for expression and achievement. The researchers focused on arts and crafting at a broad level rather than focusing on specific hobbies. A cognitive psychologist involved in the study said things like knitting and drawing require very few tools and can be engaging and creatively fulfilling. The new study suggests people who travel and experience new adventures in life may age a bit slower than everyone else. Researchers in Australia say traveling can offset what is the body's slow and inevitable decline. That's because when people travel, they meet new people, have new life experiences, and often take part in relaxing activities like yoga and spa treatments. Now, the study's author suggests traveling can benefit a person's physical and mental health. Whooping cough is on the rise in the U.S., and the CDC says protection from its vaccine is waning. Now, so far, there have been around 14,500 reported cases of the disease doctors call this year. That's nearly 5 times higher than the number of cases at the same time last year. The vaccine's effectiveness starts to wear off 2 to 3 years after taking it. The FDA's vaccine committee met Friday to discuss whether it might allow a human challenge trial. That involves purposely giving people whooping cough to test the effectiveness of a vaccine. Well, they can keep infants and children safe in a vehicle, but car seats and booster seats have to be the right size for a child and must be installed correctly in order to provide protection in a crash. During a Child Passenger Safety Week, experts say it's a good time to make sure your child is in the right seat. Mandy Gaither has 5 steps to keep kids safe in a vehicle.
It's a leading cause of death for children. The latest data from 2022 shows on average 3 children under 13 were killed every day and 429 injured in vehicles. 39% of those killed were unrestrained.
We do know that a properly installed car seat or booster seat can really reduce the risk of injury and save lives.
Dr. Manisha Agarwal with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says the first step to keep kids safe is making sure your car seat or booster seat is firmly installed. The base shouldn't move more than an inch in any direction. Next, make sure any straps or harnesses fit snug against the child. Agarwal says there shouldn't be much slack.
So that means if you try to pinch the strap or the webbing, you really can't do it at all.
Third, max out your child's seat before graduating them to the next level. Keep them in their current seat as long as possible until they outgrow the limits for height and weight. Fourth, front seats are not made for children. Agarwal says things made for adult safety like airbags can be dangerous for kids.
In fact, all children should stay in the back seat until they turn 13, no matter how big they are.
Finally, when it comes to kids and car safety, don't cave to pressure.
You are taking your kid to school, they see their friends maybe getting out of the front seat or not in a booster seat, but it's your job as a parent to keep your child as safe as possible for as long as possible.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got showers and storms rolling through the area this morning. More expected on the way. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, big brothers, big sisters share time with their littles at the bowling alley.
Some of you getting some scattered showers and storms. Some of you at least a brief pause in the activity, but more on the way. A look at that forecast. Get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, Pittsburgh Public Library hosts a poetry reading by Pitt State alumni poets.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's just coming up on 5:31. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday here in the 4 states, second day of fall. And of course, officially started yesterday. We've got some fall-like weather. And we've had some very fall-like allergies. We were just talking about this.
I have fallen victim to the fall allergies, which never before have I had fall allergies. So
it's been pretty rough. My wife, so you've been on practically on her deathbed through the weekend, man. It's been hitting hard. Now I've been lucky.
Yep.
I've never really had any major allergies for now, but for those of you suffering at home, I know it's probably been miserable out there. And, the rain will help a little bit, and that's what we are getting. But first, we want to show you what things look like outside. So if you are in bed and you aren't feeling well, you don't even have to get up and look out the window. You can just look over at the TV and we'll show you. We've got a few raindrops still hanging out on our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Roads are, of course, still wet. We had some pretty good rainfall come through, some thunderstorms come through earlier this morning. They've exited the Joplin and Pittsburgh cities, those regions right now, but we still have them out there. Our camera 7th and range line showing us those cloudy skies, and of course the road's still a little bit on the wet side. Same from the MoDOT camera at 32nd and range line in Joplin. So here's the Skywatch storm tracker, and there's those showers and storms. So we've got some moderate rainfall across parts of Kansas, heavier rainfall, and that thunderstorm activity across parts of southwest Missouri. So we're going to start in southeast Kansas, and of course as this all moves, I've got to start moving this radar, but we do have a heavier shower over Chanute, just northwest of Erie, so 47 out there. And then Elsmore, Fort Scott, north of Hepler, some additional moderate rainfall, not any major thunderstorm activity out there at this point. And then we've got thunderstorms again. I got to start dragging this thing north every 10 minutes as these continue to lift off to the northeast. Stockton, you've got some heavier rain, thunderstorm activity just to your south, north of Greenfield, and then south of Greenfield, some heavier rain out there as well, stretching up toward Nevada. All of this activity, of course, continuing to lift off to the northeast and off to our south and west. We'll see boy, that didn't move. Additional shower and thunderstorm development begin to take place out there as well. And we'll be dealing with scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through the morning into the afternoon. They'll start to ease up by evening, maybe a few isolated showers and storms remaining out there, but will begin to clear out. Quick look at temperatures: 63 Joplin, 61 Pittsburgh, low to mid 60s, even 59 in Iola, upper 60s as you head a little further south and east. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Boy, I've got a lot of things to get through here. I apologize. 63, few scattered storms, north breeze 5 to 10 when that bus brings them home. A few scattered storms at about 66. No major warming taking place today. Very nice temperatures, about the upper 60s out there, and showers and storms wrapping up as we head later into the evening. We will talk more in detail about these storms and what we're expecting over the next few days here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, the Hispanics of today at Pittsburgh State held a duo piano recital yesterday, continuing on with the Hispanic Music Festival events. Now, yesterday's performers played piano simultaneously to several classic Hispanic compositions.
I'm very excited. I love piano music, and I love our slate of music that we have prepared. It's really exciting, really fun.
The purpose of this festival is to have every concert something unique. And we had the band at the beginning, and then we have a really special instrument on last Wednesday. And today, you don't see two pianos on stage very often.
The Hispanic Music Festival will be holding its next recital on Wednesday, September 25th, featuring a variety of instruments and pieces composed by Hispanic musicians. Recitals are held at McRae Hall on Pittsburgh State's campus and free for the public to attend. The 25th Festa Italiana kicked off Saturday in Frontenac. The Taste of Nations raised money for Frontenac Public Schools. Over 2,500 people were expected to attend, and one of the highlights of Festa Italiana is the Holy Cannoli competition, where contestants are expected to eat as many cannolis as they can in 2 minutes. The winner of the contest gets a huge bib with Festa Italiano logo on it.
Festa provides a $200 scholarship every semester post-graduation for every graduating senior for 4 years. So each semester they apply to get a scholarship, and they're guaranteed $200 if they graduated from Frontenac. And we also give student development grants to teachers and provide money for students in Frontenac.
The Festa Italiana also showcases foods from other nations. A Pittsburgh Public Library hosted a poetry reading by poets Grace Hendrickson, Cody Schrum, and Khadija Cisse, all three of which are graduates of Pittsburgh State University and current or former library staff members. Brownies, tea, and water was provided for those who attended the reading.
I think it's really nice to have familiar faces in the crowd and see, like, oh, I know that person, I pass that person every day, or they come into the library all the time, and it's really nice to see a lot of the people that I know support us.
Cody Schrum was recently named the first finalist of the Jonathan Holden Poetry Chapbook Contest. All the big brothers, big sisters of Jasper and Newton counties teamed up with Butterball and LaFaro Wilson Ortho in Carthage. Now, the event took place at Grace Lanes, and lunch was provided for the bigs and their littles. Butterball also provided gift bags for the participants.
Today we are having a match activity. So usually our matches will meet in a one-on-one environment, but quarterly we try to get everyone together and just celebrate the matches, and so that's what we're doing today.
Really just know that there are organizations like this out there that have needs, whether the need is a monetary donation or just somebody to step in and shake hands or hand out food. You know, it's a nonprofit organization. They're extremely visible in the community. They have a lot of needs.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is dedicated to providing trusted adults for children who don't have one. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A deadly building collapse near Naples takes the life of 2 young children. Plus, efforts continue across eastern Ukraine to ward off Russian troops advancing deeper into the region. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, topping World Watch. The fall annual ride of swilling that beer is now here, and there's plenty to cheer in Germany. Rebel rousers everywhere are tapping into beer taps in their inner party animal spirits with the annual 2-week Oktoberfest. The festival officially arrived Saturday in Munich, Germany, opening 16 days of festivals, folk singing, German food, and crazy big beer steins filled to the brim. Now, 6 million visitors will come, and they'll shell out $15 to $17 for 1 liter mug of beer. Now, amid the fun, there's stepped up security due to an August 23rd knife attack in Stolingen that killed 3 people. The first Oktoberfest in 1810 celebrated the marriage of Crown Prince Ludwig of Bavaria to Teresa of Saxony. Well, a building collapses in the southern Italian province of Naples early on Sunday, killing 2 young children and leaving 2 women trapped under the rubble. Rescuers in the town of Siviano rescued the bodies of the bodies of 2 kids, a 6-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl. Firefighters on scene say the father of the 2 victims and a newborn were found alive. The search for the mother and another older woman are still underway. Russian military operations are ramping up across eastern Ukraine, putting Ukrainian forces on tighter defense as the war rages on. Sue Guzman takes a closer look at the latest from the front lines as Ukraine's president kickstarts a highly active political schedule here in the States.
Efforts continue across eastern Ukraine to ward off Russian troops advancing deeper into the region. Ukrainian forces are desperately trying to prevent Russia from taking the city of Toretsk, citing how it could embolden Moscow to press ahead towards additional cities further inland.
The situation is very tight now. The enemy is pushing constantly, trying to test us, reveal the location of our positions.
This comes as emergency crews in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, continue removing debris following a Russian missile strike over the weekend. At least 21 people were injured.
There were several strikes on the city of Kharkiv with guided bombs. One hit in front of a residential high-rise building.
Meanwhile, as President Vladimir Zelensky persists with his calls for U.S. officials to allow the use of longer-range missiles to strike deeper inside Russia, Zelensky visited a Pennsylvania factory that makes vital ammunition for Ukraine.
It's a recognition of the hard work that these machinist union people are engaged in to create the shells that Ukraine is lobbing back at the Russians on the eastern side of Ukraine.
Ukrainian Americans waving flags in support as his motorcade drove past.
Absolutely important. It's just very heartwarming.
But Zelensky's schedule isn't going to slow down. He's expected to meet with President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and former President Donald Trump this week. Zelensky also plans to address the United Nations General Assembly in New York Wednesday.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5 seconds past 5:46 on this Monday morning. Skywatch Storm Tracker is alive with some activity, and that is great news because we need some rain. And the even better news is none of this is strong or severe. Now, it may seem like it. You know, sometimes you can get a thunderstorm with a lot of lightning and heavy rain. It's not strong, it's not severe because it's not producing winds or hail, but boy, it certainly can sound like it from time to time. Let's start into southeastern Kansas. We do have this heavier shower over Chanute, so that's parts of 169 stretching over to 59 just north of Erie. 54 from Fort Scott to Nevada. If you're driving out there this morning, be ready for some moderate rainfall. Same with 69 down through Bourbon County. And then off to the west, we have these little showers just west of Twin Grove, northwest of Howard. We'll cross the state line. We got that heavier shower right over Fort Scott, stretching to Nevada. I'm transposing towns and where they are, but you know where you are. We've got showers and thunderstorms along 49 through Vernon County, and of course, if you're traveling 54, be prepared for a long stretch of rain, depending on how far you are going. Stockton, showers and thunderstorms out there, and we counted up about 36 lightning strikes in just this zone alone. So you got to remember, be safe with lightning. Even if the storms aren't strong or severe, the lightning is still dangerous. It can still be deadly out there. And then down all the way to Greenfield and 160, now just to the east of Lamar, some heavier rain and thunderstorms thunderstorm activity. And then this is what we're watching. It doesn't look like a lot around Ponca City, Enid, out in north central Oklahoma. It doesn't look like much, but all of that wasn't there about 20 minutes ago. And we still have some moderate showers around Pawnee to the northeast of Oilton, around Stillwater. All of these little sprinkle showers out there are eventually going to turn into more showers and storms as they continue to lift off to the north and east, as this activity is doing as well. In fact, most of this will start to exit our area later this morning, but that'll be just in time. See how quickly all of this activity starting to get together down here northeast of Oklahoma City? That's what's going to bring us more of this shower and thunderstorm activity through the morning, into the afternoon, and into the evening. Now, as we go later into the evening, the storms are going to be on a downward trend. A few more isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Could see some brief redevelopment, and by about midnight or so, we're going to be done with it. Now, we go into our Tuesday. Future Track was not showing this a couple of days ago, but it is beginning to show an opportunity as we head into Tuesday afternoon for some isolated to widely scattered shower and thunderstorm chances out there. But these will continue through the late evening. Won't be nearly as widespread, not nearly as much rain as we're looking at for today, but still some showers and storms will be possible as we head through our Tuesday. Then that'll clear out. We're cool in our Wednesday. Partly cloudy skies, but otherwise looking fantastic. Look at this by noon Wednesday, mid-60s out there. Speaking of the 60s, that's where we're at. 63 in Joplin with a north-northwest breeze at around 6 miles an hour. Temperatures out there looking pretty good this morning. We've got low mid-60s, a little further south, some upper 60s, but all of us will be getting in on, again, nice temperatures. Scattered storms through the morning. Temperatures just kind of hovering in the mid-60s out there. We're looking at ultimately reaching early highs, say about noon, 1 o'clock, into the upper 60s. Mid-70s tomorrow, upper 70s Wednesday, more shower chances Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But take a look. All of those temperatures, 70-degree readings. So a beautiful first week of fall. Let's check your forecast. We are back with more right after this.
Well, an amazing moving vehicle rescue attempt caught on camera as a Florida sheriff's deputy climbs from one vehicle to inside another while they're both driving down a busy road. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
We've all seen it in the movies. A hero in hot pursuit makes a daring jump from one moving vehicle to another. Well, that's almost exactly what happened in Michigan, where multiple cameras captured a sheriff's deputy climbing into the window of a moving vehicle. Macomb County Deputy Nicole Myron's body cam shows her making the move to help a motorist that had been reported driving erratically and, according to Myron, appeared to be having a medical emergency.
He was just in a daze. He wasn't sure what was really going on.
The deputy was able to successfully stop the vehicle and get the driver the medical assistance he needed. And while it may not have been as speedy a scene as in, say, this scene from Speed, Myron says hair-raising heroics like these are just part of the job.
These are things we're doing every day, and we're trying to come up with a fix to the problem, and that was the fix.
Speaking of climbing into someone else's car, a suspected would-be car thief in Miami was found locked inside a car he was apparently attempting to steal. The car's owner was stunned when he found the man locked inside his Corvette.
Why are you in my car? No, you can't get out, because we calling the cops.
According to the owner, the suspect was unaware that without the car's electronic keys, the security system won't allow it to start and locks the doors. To add insult to indignity, there was a manual door release handle under the seat, something else the suspect didn't know. And why would he? Again, not his car. Miami Beach police eventually freed and then took the man into custody. He was charged with attempted burglary and later saw a judge who set the bond at $2,500. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Hopefully that'll teach him a much needed lesson. Stick around, we'll be right back. Well, Pesto is bigger than your average king penguin chick at 49 pounds and just 9 months old. He's the heaviest penguin chick ever recorded at the Sea Life Melbourne Aquarium. Pesto is heavier than both his parents combined, who weigh about 23 pounds each. His brown baby fluff has also made him a hit on social media, grabbing the attention of more than 1.9 billion people globally. Pesto's baby fluff won't stay on him forever, though. He's about to enter a fledgling period where he'll lose that brown coat over the course of a month or two, turning into a sleek penguin after. What Halloween candy rules with your little hobgoblins and ghouls, and where the mysteries are solved by DoorDash on that kitty candy stash. Now, DoorDash compiled some state-by-state info from their own October 2023 order data. The top 5 candies: Reese's Milk Chocolate Peanut Butter Cups, and it rains in the Midwest and upper half of the country. And a surprise, Gushers Tropical Fruit Flavored Snacks is runner-up, Big Out West and Northeast. Twix Caramel Candy Bars is in 3rd in various states, and 4th, longtime favorite Snickers bars grabbing the South. Nerd Sweet and Tangy Gummy Cluster Candy rounds out the top 5, hot in Idaho, North Dakota, and West Virginia.
I think it is now interesting that we have polling data to determine, or not polling, but we have data to determine what candy you should put the most of into your dish. That's good news. I still like the candy corns and those little candy pumpkins. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that are probably booing me right now, but I like them. I think they taste fine. Elise, do you like the candy corns or the pumpkins? The pumpkins are pretty good. They're pretty good. And we are starting to fall into some spooky weather. It's a little cloudy, a little dreary this morning. Scattered storms, temperatures just kind of hovering in the mid-60s out there as we go through the morning. We'll eventually reach early highs around 69, maybe 70 at best. And that'll happen around noon, 1 o'clock, and the temperatures just kind of steadily falling through the day. Scattered storms will start wrapping up later this evening. Could see a few isolated showers through about midnight, and then that's it. Mostly cloudy overnight, falling back into the mid-50s. We'll have some additional maybe scattered shower and thunderstorm chances on our Tuesday. They'll be isolated to scattered, not as widespread in coverage as they are today. Mid-70s, upper 70s Wednesday, partly cloudy, pretty decent. More shower chances to wrap up this week. And take a look, partly cloudy skies heading into next week and this entire first week of fall and entering the second week of fall. Temperatures hanging out in the 70s. To check out your forecast, we're back with more right after this.